Hi, it's Wednesday night, the 20th of January, day 20 of 2021. Today's Living the Dream experience is a bit different than the kind of experiences I've been sharing, but a living the dream experience nonetheless. To think that living the dream is without negative experiences or disappointments is to discredit it and what success actually means. I've been waiting for over a week now to hear back from Tanya of Google Ads. She, like I said, is my account manager there at Google and helps me with my YouTube ad campaign, or at least she started out to and said that she was my account manager. She even gave me her direct phone number, but now when I dial it, it's disconnected. She has not answered my last 5 emails, and so I have gone in search for new ways to get the help I need and to find a way to have a chat once again with another Google Ad account manager. But I've not had success. For me, these kind of disappointment and these kind of experiences are living the dream experiences too. You can't appreciate the good experiences unless you have bad ones to compare them to. Having this challenge go past 7 days now without any responsive help is a bit frustrating to me, and it does give one a sense of helplessness because I can't control the situations of other people. But I have learned that thinking that way doesn't help me because I can't control Tanya or what is happening to me, nor can I control the circumstance. What I can do is I can only think differently about it and take new action to work through what I have no control over and only control what I can control. That said, here's my power statement that I wrote down for this morning. I'm still taking a moment each morning to reprioritize my to-do list so that I do the most important tasks for the day first. In addition to that, I'm going to press forward and hopefully I'll hear back from Tanya. If not, I'm going to find it another way. Unless Tanya has left the company, which she could have, even though her phone is disconnected, she could still be there. And I hope and have the belief that I will hear back from Tanya. But I don't know. I'm not in control of that. But only time will tell. In the meantime, however, I am taking other steps to get the help that I need. Here's what I had on my to-do list for today. My number one most important task. Well, let me show you. Very short list here, right here. Got those done. Bam. My most important task today was to reach out to Tanya once again and leave another voice message, send another email asking her to contact me, and calling and leaving a message on the other phone numbers I was given for Google Ads team. My fun task for today was to be able to walk out of my office and go downstairs after the day was done and just leave the chaos and stress there in that room upstairs here until tomorrow morning. I no longer let things I can't control me and what I feel. I choose to be stress-free. I choose to be happy even under this kind of a circumstance, even when my day didn't go like I had intended and hoped that it would and how I needed it to. Tomorrow is another day. And my exciting task for today was to get started on the next Good to Know Monday Tips video script so that I can record it and get it set up in my Good to Know Monday Tips campaign system before Monday's tip goes out. My next end of the day success routine question says, get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today? Or what could you have done better today? Did you wake up early and start strong? Check. Did you start your morning with power? Win the morning, win the day. Always does it. Were you productive throughout your day? I've got those little pieces done and I pressed and pressed and pressed. I'm getting little lesser important tasks done. So yes, I did move my goals forward and I got the most important things done. Did you show up as the person you wanted to today? Attitudinally, I did. What about your personal time with Kathleen? Had a wonderful time today, midweek, hump week, Wednesday night. What about your personal time with Kathleen? She was present for me. I was present for her. Next are my end of the day success routine accountability questions. Were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? In other words, did you keep your promises that you made to yourself this morning? Well, since I saw that Tanya didn't get back to me, I checked that first thing when I get into my office. I checked my emails and my Gmail account as well. First thing this morning, I promised myself that I would just focus on the master task list steps and start with the details I needed to get done, and I'm focusing my attention on those, and then I'm going to start to write out my script for my next Good to Know Monday Tips video. And that is what I focused on, and that's what I promised myself, and that's what I did. The next question is, what movies did you watch yourself or for yourself during your mindfulness time today, Marty? In other words, did you make time for them? And were there any instant preplay movies that your two amigos called up onto the screen of your mind today? If so, what were they about? Well, I reviewed my must-see TV favorite 5 movies. And then I just finished my win the morning, win the day routine. That's what I did. And it was a fantastic routine. My next question says, what's the one thing that would make all the difference going forward? In other words, what one thing can I do better tomorrow? Even if the day goes sideways, getting it done, I'd still feel like a success. Well, I'm doing more repetitive mind mapping self-talk. That's what I'm doing. And so here's what I wrote down for my power statement for tomorrow. It says, I'm going to take a few minutes to do repetitive self-talk to remap my thinking about my personal success, my coaching, and how I see myself. And then I will focus on reprioritizing my to-do list and do the 3 most important tasks that need to get done by the end of the day tomorrow. Taking the time to really think about how I see myself as a coach for beginner entrepreneurs has been a great experience for me. So I'm going to continue to do more thought downloading each morning and read more of my affirmations and how I see myself as a coach going forward. I'm also going to continue to speak out loud a full mantra of who I am as a coach. The next question of my end of the day success routine is to ask myself, were there any mistakes or failures that you may have made today, Marty, that you can turn into a tool of success going forward? There wasn't any mistakes today or failures, so I'm good to go. Now, not being able to reach Tanya or hearing back from her, I can't control that. So that's not a failure on my part. That's maybe a failure on hers or on the Google system. It's very tough to get through. They're so large, but I'm patient and I'll press forward. The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well today? Well, my biggest success today was speaking my mantra of who I am as a business coach to beginner entrepreneurs and how I see myself and what do I might want to make that mean. Bam, done. My end of the day success routine question next says to rate my day's effort. I gave today a 9. I gave it to a 9 today because I'm still waiting on Tanya. I can't control it, but I'm continuing to feel handcuffed about this, but I'm working on my thoughts and how I will continue to approach it so that I am not derailed. I'll be able to press forward. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. Today, I'm grateful for the principle that says, as we continue to think ourselves to success, we'll continue to study people. As we do study people, we will discover those success rewarding principles that successful people employ and avoid the failure principles unsuccessful people allow themselves to be trapped by. These principles lead to the next thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the law of disease-infested thoughts, which says unsuccessful people suffer a mind-deadening thought disease called what? Excusitis. Every what some call failure or person who fails has this disease in its advanced form or stage. And most average people have at least a mild case of it too. In fact, excusitis explains the difference between the person who is going places and the fellow or gal who is barely holding on his or her own. In our laboratories, in our minds, and viewing people wherever we are, watching people, we will find that the more successful an individual is, the less inclined they are to make excuses. Listen to that. We'll also find that the people who have gone nowhere and have no plans for getting anywhere always have a book full of reasons to explain why they are where they are. They're quick to explain why they haven't, why they don't, why they can't, and why they aren't. This leads me to the next thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for Dr. Schwartz, once again, who said he never met or heard of a highly successful person who could not have found one or more major excuse to hide behind. But they didn't. They chose not to use them. For example, President Roosevelt could have hidden behind his lifeless legs. President Truman could have used no college education. President Kennedy could have said, I'm too young to be president. President Johnson and Eisenhower could have ducked behind their heart attacks. And Reagan could have said he was too old to run for president. And on it goes. As a football player for more than 11 years, I was always reminded of what my coaches called the loser's limp. This is where they were out of position, a ball player was, to catch an opposing player, and so they dropped to the ground holding their leg as though they were in agony and hurt their leg. Or when running after someone, they pulled up limping to show why they couldn't catch them and guard them in the path of the opposing runner, both of which were not really injured. All of us can review our lives where we may have resorted to our own loser's limp or any number of excuses to try and minimize our failures. If not curtailed, this behavior will turn us into victims who suffer from victimhood, the fruit of excusitis. I choose to turn my failures into tools of success and not excuses for why I failed. Oh, that's such an important thing I do every night. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it there because I have a lot more to share on this subject, but it's late, and so I'm going to leave it right here. I'll be back here tomorrow at my laptop, and until I do and I see you then, I want to wish you continued success. Good night.